you've dealt with aliens. Now meet the genuine article.
The Genuine Article, a Doctor Who podcast by James Sumner.
This is magic. This is proper Christmas.
This is proper British Christmas.
Proper British Christmas, yeah.
Typical life of a Doctor Who geezer. It's Christmas Day, I put on telly, wife Susan's made me some roast potatoes, and I watch Doctor Who.
Day in the life of a Gallifrey geezer. Wake up and meet the companion Ruby.
Think about seducing her, choose not to. Could do it though. I can make you my new rose, but I won't.
Oh my god.
To be fair, that's the entirety of Martha's series. You're not replacing
Genuinely.
her. You're not. It's one trip Martha.
Where is she now?
With her family, happy. She's fine. Not that you're replacing her.
You never said I was.
Just one trip to say thanks. You get one trip, then back home. I'd rather be on my own.
Okay, James. So tell me, what do you think? What do you think of the old church on Ruby Road?
I loved the Church on Ruby Road. By far the best special of this new wave. It felt fresh. It proved to me that Russell can write Doctor Who when it's not a movie mega pace, super roller coaster adventure like it was in The Giggle or like it was forced into being with Star Beast.
Yeah.
It proved that he could take a minute to do it properly, which I was worried about in this era. And I'm less worried now. I'm reassured.
Yeah. I think Russell, we both agree, always does his worst stuff when he's under pressure. I think when he's having to do a big Christmas special. No, not a Christmas special, but the 60th anniversary specials. I think this Christmas special went pretty exceptionally well. I think again there's a few specialisms where it's very clear that like it's a special. We've got to up the ante. We've got to up the scale and the pace and everything. And I think that, like I said, if this is as big as we get, I'm happy. I've got a little niggling feeling that we might get a little bit bigger than this.
I didn't feel like this was... I disagree that I don't think that this tried to be too big, because they had a big set piece, but it didn't feel like the scale was very big. It was very much just saving the baby, and then it was saving Ruby. Like, it was very much, we're doing one thing, and then we're doing the next thing.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think it doesn't yet have the amount of, like, character choices and character development that I expect from a typical Russell episode, and I think that's what makes it kind of feel like a special episode.
Because it's a Moffat episode.
Yeah, basically. But I feel like when we get to the series now that we've established Ruby, we've established the Doctor, and we can just get on with things, I'm just feeling very confident that, like, you know, these specials have been the driving test, and now Doctor Who's allowed back on the road.
Ncuti's hitting out of the gate. Like, Ncuti did a lot with the 5 minutes he got in The Giggle, but I can't pretend I was super thrilled just because it was really hard to gauge, is this what he's always going to be like? Because you get that with cross-Doctor episodes. The Doctors act funny because they want to make them look different. Like, whenever 2 and 3 are in the room, 3 is at his most grumpy and 2 is at his most stupid.
Oh, I can see you've been doing the Tardis up a bit. I don't like it.
Who's he and how did he get in here?
Well, it's a bit difficult to explain, Joe.
He's not one of them, is he?
Well, not so much one of them as one of us. One of me, to be precise.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, my dear. I hate to be contrary, but I can see he's a little bit confused, poor old chap, and I do feel you should have the correct explanation. You don't mind, do you?
Yes.
I didn't think you would. You see, Joe, I may call you Joe, mayn't I? You see, he is one of me.
Like, you got a contrast.
I always imagine it as like when the Doctor meets himself, they like to show off a bit, you know what I mean? Show off their like individuality a bit. And yeah, you're right. That Ncuti that we get is in such a mothering, nourishing position to Tennant, that to get him on his own now, where like he really isn't mothering anybody, he really isn't looking down on anybody, because he sees Ruby as so much on his level, so much of the episode, like their kind of familial bickering. It really is exciting to see what his Doctor is actually like now.
It is interesting how Ncuti gets a lovely, like, snowy background to do his intro narration, but David Tennant had to stand in front of the green screen dimension for the first episode.
That's so rude. That is so rude of them. That is so rude.
I almost expected it to cut to Ncuti in the green screen dimension, and that was going to be just like how Doctor Who does exposition from this entire era. It was always in front of that weird void green screen.
Oh, that'd be heaven. That would really spark joy for me. I just love it. I love the feel of this. This is everything nice about Series 5, you know what I mean? In terms of the fairy tale-ishness of it.
This is a hell of a Moffat episode for something not written at all by Moffat or directed in his era.
Genuinely, it really, really is. And I think it just gets all the things that I like about Moffat and puts it all together under Russell's writing, which, as you know, I kind of prefer. And I think, I don't know, I really love a lot of Davis's female characters. I just think that he's always been very good at writing female characters, which is so rare in Doctor Who, except for maybe like how he did Martha so dirty. But
I think Moffat's brilliant at creating characters, but they feel like your D&D characters. Is that they're cool, they've got cool backstories, they do cool things, but you don't feel like they're people. Like, I never thought of Amy Pond as a person. I thought of Amy Pond as a companion, whereas Donna was a woman. Like you'd meet Donna, you wouldn't meet Amy Pond, supermodel turned kissogram turned action hero. Yeah. I think. How do you feel about Ruby Sunday? Because I don't know about you, but I feel kind of an immediate affection for this character. Yeah, because she's just Clara. She's Clara, but in the Tyler house. I like Ruby because she feels like a Moffat character, but because Moffat isn't writing her, she's not being sexualized. So you get to enjoy all the fun bits of she's quirky and she's quippy and she's obviously she is stunning herself, but she's not like being leered at by the camera. She's just allowed to be a normal person.
I landed in the sky, and you thought, yeah, I'll give that a go, babe. They've got the baby.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she just. I like when Davis characters remind me so much of people that I know, and I feel like I know a lot of Ruby Sundays, and I immediately just kind of have that affection for her that I do with those people in my life, and this initial mystery, again, a very Moffat-y thing to have the character be a foundling.
I've been reading a lot of tweets about this episode. It was really interesting. It's interesting that people are talking about it. Some people didn't like the way that Ncuti talks to this woman coming out of the. Like, they found that he was a bit of a rude doctor.
Well, the Doctor's a little bit rude.
A little bit. To be fair, Eccleston was very rude in episode 1. He was a very rude man.
And he's got the leather jacket on, so it's.
I did wonder if you matched them, how close it would be to Eccleston's. I don't remember Eccleston's having the little shoulder things. It would be. They should just have him in Eccleston's. Just say that he whipped it out of the Tardis wardrobe for a night out.
That would be cool. Although I assume that Eccleston would be pissed off.
I don't think Eccleston gives a monkey's what they do with his costume and his. How angry was he that David Tennant used his screwdriver? He goes, "That's my screwdriver, David Tennant. Take your hands off it."
You're right. I don't know how good an episode it is as an introduction to the Doctor. As
I don't think it's. Well, I think it's weird. Character-wise, they do a great job. Lore-wise, I feel like
you don't have a clue.
I don't know about. It's certainly better than watching The Flux. Or watching, was it series 12 before the Flux? Like it's certainly an easier entry point than any of those.
Oh, what, series 11?
Yeah, it's better than Spyfall for getting in, I think.
Yeah, or The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
I think Woman Who Fell to Earth is fine because nothing happens in it of interest. So there's nothing to lose.
He's rosing it, and I love Rose the episode. I just love that episode.
Well, you got to do it because this is the new. This is it. You know what I mean? If you don't like Ruby, you aren't going to watch more of Who because there'll be a lot about her.
Yeah, she's again. The thing is with Moffat, the Doctor was always the entryway into the show, and I kind of struggled with that. But with Davis, the companion is always the entryway, and Ruby is so immediately kind of like understandable and immediately relatable.
Obviously, they talk about the Doctor being adopted and her being adopted. I think they wasted the idea of their massive foster family. They could have compared it to the companion family more. I think that would have been a really nice parallel.
Yeah, quite right. I think I hadn't really thought about.
I
that,
was thinking
actually.
that exactly because they talk about it in a negative light in Flux, where she goes, "Oh, Doctor, you're just like me. I kept you and I experimented on you, just like you keep your companions and you experiment on them." But I think looking at it as a positive light, like they're a foster family and he has kept them and said goodbye to lots of them and says hello to them again when he can. I just think that I don't know. I'd have kind of liked a fridge like this in the TARDIS with all the companions on.
Yeah, although who knows? Again, maybe we'll get that. That's the thing. Is that like everything that I think to myself, I could have done with this. I could have done with this. I also go to myself, well, maybe the reason why I'm saying I could have done with this is because they're implanting it and they're gonna bring it in later. You know, we really don't know, and it is quite exciting to just go. There are things that I want, and they could actually happen because it feels like they've made room for it. And it's with a writer that's strong enough to use that room.
I think we've transitioned really nicely into the setup to the action now, though, because it was just very much we have the baby and somebody's taking the baby. You don't need like it's not like Amy Pond's cracks in her walls where it's like, what the hell is going on here? Time and space is going crazy. It's just like, oh, we had a baby, we lost a baby. If this was not Doctor Who, you would still get, oh, my baby's been nicked. Like, you get the motivation there.
Can I just say the Goblins, wonderfully created. I love that design so much. I love the way that they feel kind of in the space, you know?
I wanted to see someone kick one, but nobody did.
You're so right. So
after seeing Donna beat the hell out of that puppet in the giggle, I wanted to see Ncuti punt a goblin.
Yeah. Especially they were in the sky as well. We could have had one go, you know, from the clouds. That would have been good.
I can't, like, will I be crucified? I don't love the Goblin song. I think
really
it's overproduced. It's kind of incongruous with the entire episode. I really don't like it. Wow. I can't lie.
Wow. Okay.
I was neutral, but I think I've come around to just not liking it particularly. I think it's well sung. Like, power to the lady who did it. I know she's been having an interesting battle.
But you think it's out of place?
I just think I think it's massively out of place. And also, it replaces any kind of conflict we could have had with the Goblins, which I think would have been more interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's so charming and ridiculous. And
I don't mind singing. I just don't want it to be a squeaky produced pop number.
A pop song. Gotcha.
No, I don't even mind it being poppy. I just don't want it to sound like they're in a studio. I want them to just sing it. You know what I mean?
You want it to sound a bit more Master of the House Les Mis.
Yeah. And also, I know it's weird. They tried to make Ruby sound like she was bad at riffing, but she's too good at being bad at riffing. You know what I mean? It's like the whole, you have to be really good at playing music to play music badly for comedy. I think
that is true.
Ruby's lines are too polished to be as unpolished as they are written to seem. Whereas I'm fine with Ncuti's Doctor rizzling it out and just singing a whole ballad. You know what I mean?
Because I can imagine that the Doctor at some point has been on Broadway. You know what I mean?
To give credit to the Marvels, you know, there's that planet which was a musical planet. I'm sure that you could imagine that the Doctor would say, "Oh, I spent 7 years on a planet where people only spoke in song." Like, you could just say that. So he's really good at riffing.
Yeah.
Whereas Ruby shouldn't be, and Ruby shouldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like when we heard the song out of context. It felt like they were singing to the Doctor and Ruby because they're kind of explaining their backstory and lore. Mm-hmm. But in this context, they're just singing it to themselves, and I'm like, why are they singing a song about who their king is? They know who their king is. He's their king. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I didn't get. Like, this song feels like a thing for the audience, which it is. But if the Doctor and Ruby aren't there, why would they sing this to themselves?
I'm hoping for a Last Jedi where her mum was just some woman that threw her away. You know what I mean? And not a Rise of Skywalker where it turns out to be the Rani.
I don't want it to be somebody else. I'm fine with it being more complicated if it's something like Ruby doesn't have a mum. She's like a paradox and she puts herself there. I don't mind that coolness, because it doesn't have to be like she's special, but it does matter that I don't mind something interesting happening, but I don't want her to be like Space Jesus. I don't mind her just being like some kind of weird time accident.
Yeah, which, you know, it's Russell. We got to be careful. He might go too far.
It's okay. I've heard rumors. I thought we were about rumors today. How long do you think we're gonna have Ruby? Like, because companions come and go.
I
We can't all be Clara and stay for 400 years.
I think series 1 and 2.
The things I heard today, that seems likely. Somebody asked her what she's going to do now that series 2's wrapped up filming, and she said start doing job applications. So that makes me think we're not getting a series 3 Ruby.
Russell, please don't kill Ruby. I'm begging.
But also don't make her work at unit, because Jesus Christ, that's the most boring end to all the companions ever.
And it's the end to every last companion possible.
To be fair,
We'll get everyone
it
in
would
that
make
fucking
sense.
unit.
It doesn't make sense that they should financially struggle when unit exists, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I liked stuff like unit saying, oh, unit put Wolf in the home. That's fine for me. Like, well, that's good. That's good unit fixing. Because Wolf deserves to be in a home. The Donna doesn't have any money. Unit should put Wolf in a home. However, I don't think they need it. Like Donna doing the desk work in there.
Passionately agreed. I didn't.
And also, when you put them all in unit, you have to explain why they're not there. Like, at some point next series, we're going to go to unit base, because we saw it in the next time trailer. And we see Rose is there, probably. But I didn't see Donna there. And I don't think they'll get Catherine Tate back just for a cameo. We got Mel in it. Mel's going to take up a lot of that time.
I think they'll just say that the Doctor and Donna are off, fishing or something. I'd like them to be off in a camping trip. Brackets.
But why is Rose at work then?
Is on the moon or something,
They're always going on adventures with Wolf. It's like, Dr. Donna and Wolf, they're gonna go kill the Cybermen. All of them are.
Well, that would be good. They're shooting moles.
Typical life from Mrs. Flood. Sit out the front, drink their soup.
Wake up and sit on the deck chair.
Tardis is back. Shooty Gatwick gets it.
Drink the alcohol. What? Literally wink at the camera.
Speaking audience at home, as I do. She has to be a Time Lord, right? I feel like it has to be. Not necessarily a Master or a Rani or an anything that we know. But I think she has to be something Time Lordy, right?
Well, I know that everyone always goes, it's the Rani.
But maybe it's the Rani.
That's the Rani.
I haven't actually watched any of the Rani's odd episodes. What's the Rani's vibe?
The Rani is like a wiggy camp pantomime villain.
I've seen it. Actually, no, I've seen her in the Coronation. Was it Coronation or Emmerdale crossover?
Oh,
Corey. I've seen her in the Corey crossover.
EastEnders?
And she was just like Lady Master. She's like, I'll get you, Doctor. I think this might be a positive Time Lord. Like one that's like watching over the Ruby family.
That'd be cool, like Romana or something.
I don't think it even needs to be a character. If she could be like, I was sent by Gallifrey Doc to keep an eye on that weird Paradox girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like it doesn't have to be special. It's just like I'm, a bit like. Do you remember Harry Potter? Like the next door neighbor was a secret witch that was keeping an eye on him. Yeah. Like, just be like that, like a squib, whatever it was.
I don't know. I feel like we're in safe hands again.
Every special I've had problems with, including this one. I think the David specials had too much in them. They had too much baggage to deal with, and he was forced to deal with a bunch of baggage just from bringing David and Donna back. So that was a big problem there. Yeah. So they were very packed. This Ncuti one has the baggage of being episode 1, so you have to set up the mystery for the series, and I do think that hurts it because I think the Goblin stuff was interesting, and then it kind of drops it. And I know it's the Goblins that cause it, but we're not thinking about the Goblins. We're thinking about, is Ruby going to be okay? Yeah. Like the Goblins are incidental in the final act. But I think, maybe that will be gone now because we've done setting up. Now we've set them up, we've set up the characters. We don't need to explain who they are anymore. We know very, very well who Ncuti is and who Ruby are. I think they've got a really great bond already. I'm excited to see them do more. And that's about it. I think they just need to get on with some adventures now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel such an agitation that I have to wait until May because I feel like I've just got episode 1 and I'm going, okay, I can't wait for episode 2 and I have to wait bloody, 5 months for that and I just really don't want to. I just want to get on with this, and I think that is a testament to how good this episode is. The fact that I've watched it and gone, I just need another one. I need another one. I just want another one now, please.
Please, can I have some more? Yeah, no, I just want more Ncuti, and that's why I'm kind of sad about these 8-episode series. They got to make him worth their money. Got to get some good Ncuti time in because he's brilliant.
Yeah, He is. He's absolutely brilliant. And there is that fear that by the time that he's done, even if he does one more series than the average Doctor, maybe we won't have as much of him as we want, Because it
is when you think about it, though, because every modern Doctor has had 3 series. I don't know how you count it with Jodie. Yeah, she had 3 and then some specials. Ncuti's second series has already finished filming.
Yeah.
Which means we could be in the weird position that if they film 3 this year as well, we'll already know that Ncuti's gone 2 years before we've seen his final episode. You know what I mean?
And,
it's really weird.
Knowing the modern state of the media, we'll already have his exit leaked online, annoyingly. I've decided from here on out, I don't want to hear another Doctor Who leak. I'm not going to look at another Doctor Who leak. I don't want to hear people go, well, someone said online that this is happening.
Yeah.
I just want to be going into Doctor Who blind now, because I went into that episode blind. Obviously there was a lot of leaks with the specials. Luckily, by the time I was watching the specials, I'd forgotten the leaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this, I didn't know a single thing about it except for what was in the advert for it, And watching it really brought me back to that way that I had watched Doctor Who growing up. And that kind of like purer form of television that you get a lot now with other shows that aren't as leakable. Of just going into the episode, that title screen hitting, and you just have no idea what you're going to get.
No.
Except for what was in that next time, you might know what the monster looks like, but you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And yeah, I get so giddy about that, having that once again, and just knowing that I feel like I'm in safe hands, and I feel like this show that I love is in safe hands, and just more of it, please. That's just how I feel now. Just more.
Yeah, and to wrap up, that's what we think. More, please. Yes, please. I'm enjoying it. You're enjoying it. It looks good. The next time trailer looks banging. I can't wait to see the Beatles. I can't wait to see big millipede-looking things.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff.
Because
Mel back. Rose back.
And you know what they say, James? Like, at the end of the episode, I just have like one big question that I just want your opinion on. Have you dabbled with aliens?
I've dabbled with a couple of aliens. Not in 2024. I've dabbled with a fair few aliens in 2023.
Well, James, you know me. The genuine article.